From your Appointments tab, which can be accessed by clicking on the Appointments button in the primary navigation, you'll see a list of all the individuals that have scheduled an appointment at your location for today. Now, you can see all your upcoming appointments by changing the filter and clicking search. You can also filter this list down by searching first name, last name, date of birth to find the individual when they show up for an appointment. Now, to administer vaccine to this individual, what you're going to do is click this blue update button in the far right of the grid. When we click update, the system asks you to confirm with the individual that they are indeed here to receive their initial dose. If they say, no, we've already received our initial dose, what you can do is ask them to note that within their profile. So the individual will log into their profile using their confirmation code and their date of birth and make a notation that they have indeed received an initial dose. They'll need to select which manufacturer and on what day. That will give you as the provider enough information to determine whether or not enough time has passed for them to receive their booster. Now, for the sake of this demo, we're going to say that yes, this is indeed Chris Schroeder's initial dose. So when we click OK, the patient's information appears, and we have two options. The ability to review some basic information about the individual, first, last name, date of birth, phone number, the appointment details, and any previous appointment details. To administer vaccine, you as the provider will click this Administer Vaccine button. What you are first confronted with is the medical questionnaire. Now, in this example, the questionnaire has not been filled out by the patient. So if you try to skip ahead without updating the questionnaire and try to administer the vaccine, the system will ask you to please complete and save the medical questionnaire before continuing. Now, you as a provider can walk through each one of these questions with the patient, or you can ask the patient to log into their profile and complete their questionnaire. Once the patient logs into their profile, they can click on the medical questionnaire, and if it is the day of their appointment, they will be able to fill out the questionnaire as they need to. So the question, are you feeling sick? Yes, I have a slight fever. Do you have allergies? No. The patient can go through the questionnaire and answer the questions as they see fit. They have the medical consent along with the EUAs for both Pfizer and Moderna, along with the policies for HIPAA that the Department of Health has. And then they can sign their name using their mouse or a stylus and select the date that they're consenting. When they click Save Medical Screening, what you'll see is the medical questionnaire has moved from pending to complete. When we come back to the admin, you'll see that the questionnaire is automatically populated with all of the answers that the patient has entered. Any questions that are highlighted in yellow need to be examined further, and then you as the medical provider need to make a determination as to whether or not to give the vaccine. Now, for this example, let's imagine the individual said no to all of the questions, and they were indeed eligible to receive the vaccine. To administer the vaccine, you select the drop-down, was the vaccine administered? You click yes, the vaccine was administered. The system will ask you to certify that you have reviewed the patient's medical questionnaire. You certify that you have indeed reviewed the patient's medical questionnaire, and then the screen options for administering vaccine become available. Now, we're really asking for three things: vaccine information, who the vaccinator was, and the vaccine information statement or the EUAs. The vaccine information is tied to a drop-down of lots. The vaccinator information is tied to a drop-down of vaccinators, and the EUA is tied to which vaccine brand is being administered. So let's see how we add lot numbers and vaccinators to our drop-down. So we're going to go ahead and close out of this window here. And within our location details, you'll see that we have a tab of vaccinators and a tab of lots. So let's add a vaccinator first. So I'm going to click this vaccinator tab, and I'm going to add a new record. And we'll make Schroeder Steve a vaccinator at our location, and we'll say that he is an MD. So what we've done is we've added a vaccinator to the table, and to add a lot, we click on the lots. In this particular instance, our location has Pfizer, so we add a Pfizer lot, and we add a new record to the table. The lot number is on the vial, or on the QR code if it's a Moderna. So we'll just say sample lot 123 with an expiration date that you can set by clicking on the day calendar, setting the expiration date. When you click Save Changes, the created date automatically populates. So what we've done is we've added a lot that we can select from, and we've added a vaccinator. Now keep in mind that lot that we added was a Pfizer lot, so if we click Edit, we can obviously add additional ones, but the system will know that this is indeed a Pfizer vaccine. So coming back to our appointments window, we click on Chris Schroeder. We're going to update and administer vaccine. Yes, this is his initial dose. Yes, we have reviewed the medical questionnaire with this individual, and we're ready to administer vaccine. So the date and time of the vaccine is automatically populated. Now when we select the drop-down, you'll see that we have the available lot that we've added. When we select that, the vaccine brand is auto-populated, the expiration date is auto-populated, the dosage amount is auto-populated, the site. All you need to do as a vaccinator is determine which arm the vaccine went in, the right or left. The route is selected, and the initial or booster is an option. Since this was indeed Chris's first appointment, the system automatically sets it to initial. However, you can overwrite it if you need to. Next is the vaccinator information. From the drop-down, we have Steve Schroeder because we added him to the vaccinator table. We select Steve Schroeder, and his credentials automatically populate. Lastly, the vaccine information statement. We know that this lot is a Pfizer brand, and so the immunization team controls the EUAs in the system. So we know that today the EUA is being given. We know the published date of the EUA. All we need to decide is how we're going to deliver it. Are we going to send it to them in a text message, an email, or a printed copy? If it's a printed copy, you as a provider will need to print that out at your location. So in this instance, we'll send it out as a text message. When we click Submit, you'll see that the individual moves into an observation period. By default, the observation period is a 15-minute window. At the end of this period, the individual will receive a text message that says their observation period is complete. At any point, you as the provider can note whether or not there were adverse side effects and leave any adverse side effect notes within here. The system also pulls in the emergency contact information so that if there is an adverse side effect, you know exactly who to call. So at this point, what the system has done is automatically scheduled Christopher Schroeder to come back for his booster. If we look at all of our upcoming appointments, you'll see that not only did Chris come in on 123, and he's currently in the observation period, but he's also been scheduled at our location to come back for a booster. So if you look at the messages that Chris has received, you'll see that the system automatically says, thank you for getting your COVID-19 vaccine. You are scheduled to receive your booster shot at the same location on 2/13/2021 at 9 a.m. So how did the system know to schedule him to come back in? If you remember within our location details, what we did, we created availability within the time period of the booster. So now you'll see these were the appointments that we created for the system to automatically schedule a booster. If we examine that period, you'll see that Chris Schroeder is scheduled to come in for his booster. So if you create availability within your calendar, once the vaccine is administered, the system will automatically schedule that individual to come back on a time that you've set in the future. Now, if you aren't able to set availability in the future, we'll see how the booster queue works in the next video.